Ultimate Florida Sports Show. I am Ashley Gonzalez, pinch hitting this week with my teammate on this adventure, Evan Closky. How you doing, Evan?
Chris Porter getting some much-needed R&R. We are happy to have you back on the show, Ashley. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to break down the sports stories that impact our Florida teams and beyond, from the All-Star Game to a preview of training camp starting next week. And I'm going to kick us off talking some college ball and the SEC. SEC Media Days wrapped up in Atlanta, where we got to hear from every school competing in arguably the toughest conference in college football. Billy Napier and company spoke on Wednesday, which is where we'll focus much of this conversation. Billy Napier entered 2024 on the hottest of hot seats. Every fan wanted this man canned by the middle of last season. But Napier finally started DJ Lagway. The team won the final 4 games of the season, beating 2 top 25 teams along the way. And now Napier is hoping that energy plus the vibes from the basketball season will continue into August 30th when the ball is kicked off inside the Swamp.
You know, there's a little something different in the air right now in Gainesville. Everywhere I go, I hear the Gator boys stay hot. And, you know, to me, how do we keep that momentum? And I think we do that by keeping the main thing the main thing.
So here's the thing. The Gators have arguably the hardest schedule in the season. Napier has a 19-19 record in 3 seasons, and while people are happy now, that hot seat could get scorching hot again if he puts his way into another bowl game. 2 huge questions for me about this squad. One, is DJ Lagway the next star of college football? I think he has that potential to be the caliber of guy, but there is no guarantees that happens in his sophomore season with such high expectations. He also had some injury thing this offseason. We really don't know much about it, whatever. The second question, while Florida returned 7 starters defensively from last season, I have no idea what that defensive front is going to look like. In the SEC, you got to be able to bang around with the big and uglies up front. And Ashley, I don't know what your feelings are on Florida, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, I can remember covering Florida versus Miami last season, and the crowd was not too happy about that, screaming some things that are not good for TV right now. But the Florida Gators open things up against Long Island University at home on August 30th. So hopefully that is a much better game at the Swamp than it was with that Miami
They better
game.
win that game.
You know what? Fingers crossed, but in the worldwide of sports, Evan, you just never know. And just like Billy has his back to the wall, so do the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's bounce over to the NFL now. Evan, training camp is pretty much already here, knocking on our doors. And Evan, this will be my 3rd training camp covering the Big Cats. And I know I keep saying that, but I need to make myself very clear. Myself, along with the rest of the world, will have eyes on Travis Hunter. I want to see what the Jaguars' game plan is for Hunter. He is expected to play both sides of the ball, right? How exactly will that work? At training camp, the offense and defense are pretty much split the entire practice, and the one time we get to see them on the same field at the same time is when they're going 7-on-7 or 11-on-11. That being said, is Hunter going to have a reversible jersey? Does he spend extra time in the film room? And not to mention keeping his body healthy. Let's not forget, Evan, Travis Hunter is a rookie, and on the contrary, he's not the biggest athlete you've ever seen. I can say that because I've seen him right here. I interviewed the guy. He's not that big. You know what I'm saying? He is fast. And I'm just curious to see how that'll work and what it'll look like for him. I'm sure a lot of Jaguars fans have the same questions too. But for now, the Buccaneers in your backyard, maybe some good news is that you've got a healthier lineup and an offensive team to be optimistic about.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Travis Hunter, I think anybody in the nation is wondering how he's going to manage both roles. And I think it's important to realize that maybe he's not playing every snap this upcoming year in his rookie season out of the gates. Maybe he's eased into one side of the ball versus the other and grows into the role. As for the Buccaneers, what you mentioned, number one question I want to know day one walking into training camp is what the heck happened to Tristan Wirfs? And when the heck can I expect Heck to return to a backup role? In all seriousness, we really do need to know the timeline for this injury with Wirfs and Charlie Heck replacing him. It seems like a terrible mistake that Wirfs went for procedure in July when you had the entire offseason to seemingly address this. So I just want Todd Bowles to clear everything up for us. As for the big picture stuff, I'll have my eyes on Josh Grizzard. We've heard about the continuity for this team all off season. how the offense is going to have to learn a new playbook. They're not going to have to learn a whole thing, I should say. Now it's time for Grizz to take this team to the next level. How is he going to do as a first-time play caller? Is he going to follow in the footsteps of Dave Canales and Liam Cohen, or are there going to be more growing pains there? That will be important to monitor, and really, this season predicates on the offense building on that top 5 unit they produced last year, Ashley.
So let's drive a little further south. As for the Dolphins, what are you thinking about this group down in Miami?
Yeah, when it comes to the Dolphins, I need to feel positive vibes from this group. This was a mess of an offseason, really a mess last season as well. Players spoke out and mentioned how the culture was bad at points last season. Tua was hurt. Tyreek was hurt. Waddle was hurt. Ramsey was traded. Jonnu Smith was traded. Teron Armstead retired. Don't have Calais Campbell no more. Mike McDaniel is clearly on the hot seat. Just need to see everybody pulling on the same rope. I'm pretty bullish on this offensive group as long as Tua stays healthy, which we'll see if that happens. But I think the Fins, they need to win a bunch of these shootout type of games this season because the secondary is a huge question mark, and the defensive front, while stout on paper, has some injury concerns as well. So I'm still feeling out the Dolphins right now. I don't know how to feel about this group.
Well, I think for every football fan in the country, in the world, we all just want Tua to have a healthy season. Please, fingers crossed. They've been through it. He's been through enough. So is the Dolphins. So Tua, as long as we can check his health box, I think we're good. So, okay, let's talk about the MLB. The All-Star Game already wrapped up, and maybe there was some controversy, like who actually makes this team and what do they actually have to do? Well, I looked it up to see what boxes they have to check, and that might sound silly, but have you ever watched an All-Star Game and did the whole head tilt thing, the same one your dog does when they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on? Evan, for the most part, the fans vote for who they want to start in the All-Star Game in voting phases. From there, each league has 23 spots to fill to reach a total of 20 position players and 12 pitchers per slide. So there aren't exactly accolades or reach a checkbox before these players get before they get to call themselves an all-star. I mean, I suppose to get the most votes, you got to be somewhat good, right? And yes, the players have a say as well. But it is clear that the term all-star is getting blurred more and more these days. There was a rookie pitcher who made 5 appearances and earned a trip to Atlanta. So, Evan, I don't know what to make of this game. It's starting to feel like a Pro Bowl or college football bowl games where it's losing some of its rizz, some of its luster.
Yeah, I agree with that. We had a handful of players decline invitations as well. You mentioned the rookie pitcher, Jacob Mizorowski, who is an exciting player, don't get me wrong, but he is not an all-star. I'm sorry, he simply is not. Great player, fun to watch, bright future, not a 2025 All-Star. So we just need to keep that in perspective. As for the end of this year's All-Star Game, I love the swing-off finish. I mean, who did not? There are some fans out there wondering if this is what we should be doing in extra innings of regular season games, and I just cannot be there. I will not accept this. I love review. I love the ABS system featured in the All-Star Game. I love the pitch clock. I don't even mind the Manfred man, but absolutely no on the swing-off trickling into extra innings. Something like this will get real old real quick, and sluggers would have far too much value. If you want to institute it in games that reach, I don't know, the 14th inning, okay, that's rare, fine by me. Otherwise, let's leave it in the All-Star Game and only the All-Star Game and enjoy it whenever that moment comes around.
You know what? I can totally see the other side of that. I can see your side of that. But that's the beauty of sports, Evan. You can disagree on one thing, but agree on the win or loss at the end of the game. So, you know, what we like to see unfold is seeing the players strut that red carpet before putting their cleats on. You know, whipping up some cute to wear before you show out to the All-Star Game. Check out some of these fits.
Yeah, the first picture, let's start with Jonathan Aranda on the left and Junior Caminero on the right, repping the Rays. Ashley?
Well, you see, these are fits you can probably wear again, which I'm more of a fan of this. You can wear it one night and then another night. It's not like the Met Gala where you wear it once and take the pictures, and it's kind of like a college graduation gown. I only wore it once. I don't know how many times you wore it, but that's kind of how it is. What do you think about this fit?
Yeah, Fernando Tatis on the left, Ketel Marte on the right. Ketel, you got to take whatever's in your pockets out, my man. A little too tight around the chest. Fernando Tatis, I don't like the white and black. Also, Drew Rasmussen here on the left. He's giving me total dad energy. I love this. This is a first recital outfit. Clean, can't go wrong. Aaron Judge, chef's kiss, incorporating the Yankees pinstripes in there. Awesome stuff. And Ellie De La Cruz there. Oh, man, that's fresh. I mean, we can keep going on this, but some awesome outfits there on the red carpet.
You see what's funny is, like, some guys look like they're dressed for the Met Gala, like I mentioned before, and then other guys literally just showed up to the Sunday barbecue with their brother and uncles and a few cold ones. I don't know. That's the beauty of baseball.
It's an expression of self, however that self is expressed.
Literally, yes. I think it's so funny. You have this side and then you have that side, and then you have me and you right here, right here. Big changes ahead for the Tampa Bay Rays. Coming up in our Ultimate Rush, details of ownership's latest deal and what it could mean for the franchise. Welcome back. It's one of our favorite parts of the show. It's the Ultimate Rush. This is where we'll break down a story that's having an impact on the sports world here in Florida and beyond.
There's only one catch. We only have 1 minute to make our point. Ashley, you get us started with some golf discussion.
All right, so Oakmont Country Club has banned 2023 U.S. Open champion Wyndham Clark from the property after he's caused damage in the locker room at his last month's U.S. Open there. Look, damaging any property is a no-go. Won't get my vote on that, but it is important to note Wyndham has been open about his mental health during a PGA Tour Productions interview. He told the world he struggled with mental health and his visible anger on the course. And because of that, he started seeing a therapist. So in conclusion, win or lose, you hate to see someone take a few steps back, especially after they've been so vulnerable for an audience to see. In all, I hope, if anything, people are able to see the importance of protecting your mental health, Evan.
Yeah, and Wyndham Clark's going to have some stipulations for him to return to Oakmont, which is fair for the country club, right? They shouldn't have their lockers damaged the way that they did, and you can look that up yourself if you want to see kind of the forceful kicks that he gave to the lockers. But it is just important perspective to know that as much as Wyndham needs to learn from this and be better, he also does ebb and weave out of the mental health struggles, and we appreciate him being open about that. Now we want to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, and the team takes another step forward to getting sold. I am sorry, Orlando, but the dreams of snatching this team are dwindling by the day. According to reports, Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to sell the Rays for $1.7 billion to this Zalipsky group out of Jacksonville. The preference is also to stay in Tampa Bay and build on the Tampa side of things. If the stadium saga cannot be solved, well, then Orlando, you might be up to the plate. But it seems pretty clear this is Sternberg's last year as owner. And let me say this about his legacy. From an on-the-field standpoint, I know he didn't spend money, but he turned a perennial loser into a perennial winner. He hired the right people to moneyball his way into wins. For that, he should be applauded because I think his tenure will look a lot better 10, 15, 20 years from now than it does today. As for today, though, he never captured the heart of Tampa and Tampa Bay. He never knew how to get the community to rally around this team. He constantly traded beloved players for prospects, which was honestly the right move most of the time, but created a level of distrust and apathy from the fan base. I just hope when new ownership comes in, Tampa can be given a true shot, because this is a baseball city, a baseball town, and it has to be embraced properly.
Well, look, Evan, once that rumor grew wings and made its way all around to North Florida, there was a buzz here in Jacksonville. For your baseball heart, Evan, I hope you're able to see a brighter baseball town. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, now to the heart of the game. These are the stories that go beyond the X's and O's and are a big part of the reason why we love sports.
Cal Raleigh out of Florida State took home this year's home run derby, and the win came as a family affair with his dad pitching and his little brother catching. As a kid, Raleigh bragged he would bring home the home run derby, but to actually do it with your dad pitching to you is pretty awesome.
I can't put it in words because, this derby was huge when we heard about it, but when we involved the family, the complexion of it changed. It was all a family thing, and I felt, you know what, if he doesn't hit any home runs, we're still going to be good.
You don't think you're going to win it, and you don't think you're ever going to get invited, and then you get invited, and, the fact that you win it with your family and super special, and just what a night.
A memory that'll last a lifetime. Okay, I think the best point of view from that would be Raleigh. Like your dad is pitching and your brother is literally behind you, has your back. That's adorable. 5 stars.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about this is the fact that when you're growing up and you have your pops throwing to you, maybe the younger brother wasn't always there behind you catching, but it's stuff that you dream about, stuff that you never think is probably ever going to happen in your lifetime, as you heard from the family. And to just live that, we've seen it in the past. Robinson Cano, Bryce Harper, they've been able to do it, but it's so rare. And to just go through that and to see sort of the kid come out of Cal Raleigh, a product of Florida State, as we mentioned, just really cool. And he does it close to his hometown. I mean, that's what it's all about there.
And to see all 3 of them at the press conference desk, you don't see that every day. That's really cool. Awesome. So the countdown is on to college football, and the winner of the SEC will become a major player come playoff time. Up next in our Ultimate Stakes, we give our picks on who will win the title this season.
Time now for the Ultimate Stakes. We're going to play Odds Makers and give you our picks for the week.
But remember, while we play one on TV, we are not experts, and this is for entertainment purposes only. So wherever you're watching, keep that in mind. This is all for funsies, all right? So let's talk about SEC football, and I got the Texas Longhorns taking the title this season. And before you call this Texan bias, let me back myself up. Number 1, a healthy quarterback who sat 2 seasons behind Quinn Ewers' Arch Manning. The kid is humble and competitive, not to mention the way the kid can run the ball. Number 2, they've made some big changes on the defensive side, which means finally the Longhorns will be able to play complementary football. Fingers crossed. Therefore, there's only one thing left to do, Evan, and that's play some football. Who you got?
Yeah. I'm going to be there for Texas-Ohio State, first game of the season. Go Buckeyes. As for me, I'm going Alabama. Kalen DeBoer is 1-13-16 in his career as a coach. I don't think Jalen Milroe was the right QB for his system, but he was such a good kid, such a great athlete. He stuck with him. His offense is going to be electric, and I fully expect DeBoer to get back to his dominant ways. I have them with 2 SEC losses this year. I think that's going to be good enough. It looks like neither one of us has any faith in the Gators winning it all this year. But their over-under on wins is 7.5. Ashley, you going over or under that line?
I'm going to talk crazy, Evan. I'm going over. I got them at 8 wins. Looking at their schedule, call me crazy, but I think they'll be able to put up a bigger fight with teams like Georgia and Miami. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's crazy. The under is at -150. Seems like Hard Rock is telling us this is a 7-win team. And that's kind of where I see them ending up. If you believe in the defense, I think you take them for the over. If you're skittish like myself, I think you wait for a better price. We'll know a lot more about this team after their Week 3 trip to Death Valley at LSU. What does it mean to be the world's best golfer? Scotty Scheffler has some deep thoughts. I'll break it down next. My last word.
This is the Ultimate Florida Sports Show, and now it's time for the last word. This is where we give our unfiltered opinions on a story impacting Florida sports. Evan, kick us off.
Yeah, as for my last word, I'm going to talk about Scotty Scheffler, who made plenty of headlines at the podium this week in the lead-up to the Open Championship. It was like a 5-minute soliloquy where he wrestles with the importance of his profession. He says athletes work so hard for such little moments, and admits sometimes he doesn't understand the point. He also said it's not a fulfilling life. And I really appreciate Scotty's openness in this moment because no matter the amount of money you make or fame you get, our life's work still has to bring us purpose. Scotty grew up dreaming to play professionally. He is the world's best golfer. He has won majors. He probably has done more than he ever could have thought he could do in this sport, yet he's still looking for that spark. And while some out there might think these are champagne problems, which to some extent they are, I believe a lot of this response was about an identity crisis. On the exterior, he's defined by most as a golfer. On the interior, he's probably feeling he's so much more. Sometimes the dream we all have as a kid isn't all that it's cracked up to be when we reach the mountaintop. But now that he's there, I think you're seeing someone who has no idea how to walk down the Everest he worked so hard to climb. And that's the difficult part of being an athlete sometimes, Ashley, is that you build yourself up as playing the sport, but there's a whole element of this that you're not necessarily prepared for once you get there and everything starts coming your way.
I think that when you are the best in the world at something, that is when you make the statement that you want to make. I mean, he's respected, he's loved, he's the best in the game. Lots of respect to Scotty for doing all of that. Respect, 10 out of 10.
And hopefully he sticks around a while because he's so darn good. Thank you for joining us, Ashley, especially you. We'll be back next week.